ago, I did a live. I just did a short live in the library. You know how I mix it up on here, y'all. I talk about narcissism. I always, or here and there, include you in my personal life. So today I was at the library. So I was encouraging renting books out. And so it was interesting because if you look at the beginning of the video, I try not to necessarily record people per se without their permission. However, when you're doing lives, you're covered under the Fair Use Act. I mean, the person would have to specifically say, don't record me. Okay. And if they don't necessarily say that and they don't necessarily see you recording them, it's kind of like, no, I'm not talking about you, Daniel. So it's not really much they could do about it. But what was interesting, so if you go back to that live, I haven't named it yet, but I was at the library. Right in the beginning, it was so freaking funny to me, y'all. The lady was renting out the books or looking through the books to rent. And she had a big, huge, what instrument was that, Daniel? Guitar. Yeah, she had one of the largest guitars on her back, y'all. And I just never seen anything like that. I've never seen somebody, it just tickled me to death. Go back and watch that live, right? Because I just look over, when you look over and people are looking for the books, you see a lot of different things. You see disabled people. Sometimes you'll see people on a walker over renting books in the library. All of that's normal. You may even see someone in a wheelchair. I've seen people with amputated legs and arms renting books. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen kids unsupervised over there in the book section, picking books out, and you're wondering where their parent is. And you see a lot of things in the library, right? But I never looked over and seen a lady with a big old guitar. And I mean, pretty large guitar on her back, y'all, bending over, looking at the books, like the guitar wasn't even on her back. And it was a guitar in the case. At least she had it in a case. She had it in a case. But you know how some people use instrument cases for luggage and stuff? This was not the case. She actually had a entire whole guitar on her back. You could see the print of it and everything. Like it wasn't stuff with clothes or it was none of that. It was an actual guitar. Thank you so much for the likes, y'all. So I just I did the quick video of that. And it was the last live I just did, right? I did a quick video of it so that sometimes when I'm telling y'all about stuff on my videos, because I could have just did a video explaining it, but right in the beginning of the live, you could see I got a quick glimpse of her. I think she's like bent over with that big old guitar on her back, and it tickled the shit out of me. I was like, because I'm on the computer and I looked over, and sometimes people funny when they not trying to be, y'all. I think what made it so funny with the guitar on her back is, for one, she's checking out the books. She making sure don't nobody steal her guitar. That's for sure. But what made it so funny was like her seriousness of, she was into those books and she was acting as if she did not have that big ass guitar on her back, which means she's done that before, y'all. That's her norm. That's her norm. She is used to going to that library, checking out books with the guitar on. And cool. I mean, hey, it keeps her in good shape, right? She didn't seem like, I know one thing, she wasn't on no walker. When I went back in the back, when I was looking at some of the other books, there was a gentleman back there, and he had a walker on the other side of the library. But the lady with the guitar, she'll never be paralyzed, honey, because she's getting her workout. because she's bending down with the guitar. So she's using all her leg muscles, and her shoulder muscles are definitely being strengthened. And she's losing a little weight. And I know this just from carrying my backpack. Carrying a 20-pound backpack, even a 15-pound backpack. And you can look this up online. You know, people, they give you like exercising tips on YouTube. And there's one video I went to where it suggests if you want to burn off calories quicker, carry a backpack and have it filled. You know, I would say no more than 20 pounds, 25 pounds at the most. It just, you know, I got some heavy stuff that I could put in mine. But yeah, it was so interesting. I'm like, what in the hell? This lady over here checking out books and that guitar bigger than her. It stood out because she wasn't very big, y'all. She wasn't like she didn't look overweight at all. She definitely was not morbidly obese. But yeah, she was serious, honey. And it just tickled the mess out of me. It tickled the mess out of me. And it's other things that be going on, like on the walks, y'all. So before we even got up here to this restaurant we're at, we're waiting outside, waiting on our number to be called. It was a transgender man that was up the street. And dark skin, transgender female. So he would be biologically a man. So he was a transgender female, very, very dark complected. So Daniel and I were waiting across the street. And so he asked me, he asked us, not just me, he asked us if we had cigarettes. And, you know, I just said, no, I don't have any cigarettes. I try to avoid telling people that I don't. So this is situation number 2. So I'm off of the guitar situation. So right after the guitar situation, because I'm telling y'all, I live in the twilight zone here on the West Coast. This is the twilight zone. I'm convinced of it. So me and Daniel standing on the corner getting ready to cross the street. So the transgender female, very dark skinned, drug addicted, asked Daniel and I if we had cigarettes. And of course, Daniel and I don't smoke. So I said, no, I don't have any cigarettes. And so Daniel said no. So the transgender female, which I'm gonna call him the man. So the man basically said, and Daniel pointed out to me, because at first I thought it was a real female, but Daniel pointed out to me that it was a transgender female and he's actually a man. So as I looked over and the man was talking more, the transgender, what they call a transgender female, he definitely was a man, biological man. So he says to me, he says, light skin is better, right? I said, no, it's not. Who told you that? So, but this is the self-esteem that people will have, right? And I mean low self-esteem. And see, you never know what people have gone through. So I wouldn't agree with that because I don't believe in it. So I said, no, I think chocolate better. If you ask me, it's prettier too. So that made him, you know, he kind of had a heart. You could tell that really touched his soul, right? I don't know what in the world. I don't know where he get that from. I said, where you get that from? Light skin better. Who told you that? Like, where does this information come from? Why? I just don't get it. So we was conversating, so that caught his attention, you know, so that made him kind of interested in talking to me more. And I said, hey, my mom was chocolate, and I wished I was chocolate. She wished she was light skinned. So he kind of laughed, you know, because he's a transgender female, but a biological man. So he kind of laughed. And he said, yeah, that's how it be, though. That's how it be. I said, yeah, exactly. So I kind of laughed. But I talked about my mom on one of these videos, on one of these lives, y'all. And it was a phone conversation that my mom and I was having. when I first realized that she wasn't very happy. I won't say happy with her complexion, but she had a low self-esteem about it. And she was saying to me that she thought when you light skin, you can get more, like you're afforded more opportunities when you're light skinned. My mom said this to me, and she said it with such a sad tone that I'll never forget it. We was on the phone and it really bothered me because my mom and I, this was before she passed away, we was talking about discrimination and some of the racism and discrimination that I experienced on the West Coast, even being a light complected black female, and how racism's real. When somebody racist, they don't like anything that has black bloodline in you, right? They don't like it. Like you got some extremists. So this came on my radar with this transgender female, and of course he's a biological male, but he straight out said light skin is better. And I said, no, it's not. Where you get that from? Like, and you really believe that? So of course he has a cigarette addiction and other addictions. And thank you so much for the likes, y'all. So, I mean, you got to look at it. If that's how you feel about yourself, you're going to be addicted, right? So, how do you avoid drug addiction? Or you can avoid drug addiction with low self-esteem, but it's going to be harder for you to avoid it when you live in the United States. It's just gonna be harder. So you have to really think about it. I mean, it's like and you just never know, what has happened to someone that becomes a transgender. You just don't know what's happened to them when they were little or in their past. And I got a sense that something horrific happened to him. And maybe that's what was drilled in his head that he was less than because he was very, very dark skinned. He had a very, very dark skinned face. Very, very, and then his arms and his stomach, because he had on a halter top. So his arms and stomach was like more of a lighter chocolate. And then his face was like dark chocolate. So it was interesting. And you know what? I like that he said what he said to me, because that let me know that he felt comfortable saying it. And maybe he just knew that this was his day where somebody was gonna validate what he always knew of how beautiful his complexion is. I mean, beautiful. I mean, you got people that's gonna stand out here in the sun. We got a little sun out today. And you got people that's gonna hang out here a few more hours to get their extra color on. And I'm one of them, y'all. I'm one of them. I'm hanging out here right outside Red Robin's, and I'm hanging out here. I've been out here the last 4 or 5 hours, just walking around the city and stuff, and at the library, walking here and there and just getting things done. And hey, I got my extra 3 complexions that I needed, right? I got my extra tan on, I guess you could say. So I'm sorry, y'all. That's a baby boy crying. He's okay. He got his parents over there. So anyway, y'all. So yeah, that's what I experienced. So on this outing today, the guitar, and I did the video of it, right? And then the transgender, what they call a transgender female. I thought he was a real woman at first, or a real lady, until Daniel pointed out he was a man. And Daniel was right. He actually is a man. And Daniel's a man, so he should know another man, right? So Daniel picked up on it right away. So we gotta go in, y'all. So actually,
Well, at first it was I didn't know it was a man.
at first you didn't, yeah. So Daniel, tell him that here, Daniel.
At first,
So at first,
at first I didn't know it was a man.
yeah, Daniel didn't know.
I thought it was a person like you, female.
Oh, yeah.
I realized, and then they start getting then I started giving me that man look.
Yeah, he did. It was in his eyes, y'all. So Daniel's right about that.
And then after that, once we was ending the conversation, he started looking at me like,
Oh yeah, he did the look. Yeah,
like
yeah. He admired us. He
Like,
respected
he
us,
got-
and he know you've been raised right too. He know you've been raised right.
raised this.
People, look, no matter
Let's go.
no matter who somebody is. Okay, I gotta end this live, y'all. I'm going in here to Red Robins now. Actually, I could keep y'all on here a minute. Hold on. I could keep y'all on here just a minute. Thank you, sir.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm in the Red Robins now. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, so yeah, it was an interesting time, y'all. So sorry about the noise. I'm in the Red Robin, y'all. So that's basically Daniel was saying that at first he thought that the man was a lady as well because he's a transgender female. So we both actually thought he was a real woman. But Daniel could tell he was a man through his eyes, right? And once Daniel pointed that out, I knew it too. But you know what? When you are when you look at things from a correct perspective in certain areas, when you look at things from a fair and correct perspective, not respective, but perspective, anyone will respect you, right? So at the end of the day, I was tested. You know, dark skinned brother said light skin is better. I instantly said, no, it's not. It's just crazy to just think that way, right? And but that's been embedded in his head. He was raised in the United States of America, and as a black male, being a transgender, maybe that's why he wants to dress like a woman. Maybe that boosts his self-esteem. Maybe that's some of the issue with some of the dark-skinned transgender females. Maybe the insecurity is their complexion for some of them, not all. Maybe the insecurity is their complexion, their dark, pretty complexion. And then he tries to compensate for it by dressing like a lady and becoming a lady, right? So at the end of the day, he becomes what I am, or tries to pretend.
How are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Drinking drinks here too?
Yeah. What kind of the strawberry lemonade?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just one. Great. Yeah.
And are we ready for food or not quite yet?
Yeah, we're ready. Some buzzer wings,
Boneless or bone-in?
the bone-in,
Yeah.
and well done.
Okay.
And then it comes with like the celery and carrots there.
We don't have celery, okay.
No vegetables. What does it come with now?
Just the wings and then the chips.
Oh wow. So do they have vegetables at all here anymore?
We have broccoli and there too.
Broccoli. Can I get some broccoli and ranch on the side? And then I guess the chips. Yeah, I like some kind of vegetables.
Yeah.
And then a Caesar salad with tomatoes.
With tomatoes?
Huh?
You said with tomatoes?
Yes, sir.
And free?
Can I get some mac and cheese and fries?
Good. Is that everything?
That's everything.
Check out the menus from you guys.
Yes. Thank you so much.
There you go. Do you have a bathroom?
It's going to be up front to the left.
Thank you.
It's gonna be where?
Up front to the
Yeah,
left.
leave your backpack there.
Right there.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You got your phone? Yeah, Daniel's gonna go to the restroom. Yeah, so you just never know what people are going through, right? So I like the fact that as I was walking, you know, because of course I'm on this channel, right? But I like the fact I don't want to be just a person And I was never this type of person. I've always been the type of person where people feel comfortable just telling me things and venting to me, right? And that's one of the reasons I started this channel, is because why not do it here, right? So if people have a comfort level with me, you want to advance that skill or talent or that creativity in you. So I like the fact, because he didn't talk to nobody else, right, that was on that particular block. So it was just me and Daniel there. And he just said, light skin better, right? No, it's not. And it ended up, despite the fact that he's a transgender female, a dark-skinned transgender female, biologically a man, I enjoyed having that conversation with him, because maybe one day he'll get off drugs. You just never know. See, you never know what you can say to somebody that can trigger something in them. I was in the what they would call the hood of the West Coast one day, right? And I was just over there. I was getting off work. It was right around where my sons went to daycare at. And I'll just give you an example. You just never know what you can say to somebody to change their life. So I was around there. This was many years ago when my sons were very young. And this guy walked up to me. And he said, "Are you Miss Irene?" I said, "Yes." I didn't remember who the heck he was. He said, "Did you know I gave my life to the Lord after a conversation that I had with you many, many years ago?" It was like several years before that. So whatever I said to that man, that I didn't even remember him, y'all. He remembered me, called me Miss Irene. So that's me. So you just never know what you can say to somebody, no matter what their gender is, whether they be a transgender female, transgender man, a biological girl, biological boy. You just never know what you can say to somebody that can change their entire life. So it was an interesting day here, y'all, on the West Coast. I got to get a little tickled and get my laugh on, because that was just so funny to me, y'all. It might not have been funny to other people, with the lady in the library with the big old guitar checking out books. I had just never seen a lady that serious about checking out books with that big old guitar on her back. So that was cool. And then we left there. And, it's always something interesting. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you. It's always something, put that on the seat over there, because he can get in trouble for that. We got the sweet tea drinks from McDonald's. So I just put him on the seat because he can get in trouble for that. So you just never know how you can change someone's life, right? So I was very grateful and appreciative of the conversation that I was having with the transgender female. And so it just all worked out. So that was my perspective. I mean, he said light skin better. And then he mentioned something about, he said the word privilege, right? And this is the part where it gets a little interesting, because and I don't think all dark-skinned people think like this, but it's not really much of a privilege in the way that they think. See, from his mind, he thinks light skin is better. So from the transgender female's mind, the dark-skinned man, in his mind, he believes I'm having some kind of privilege that I'm not having, right? And you got to remember, here on the West Coast, it's pretty much a lot of white supremacy, y'all. It just is. So it's not the privilege that he thinks. So it's like, because he thinks light skin is better, he's doing some stereotyping, right? He's doing some stereotyping, and it's not really necessarily true to think that there's a lot of privilege involved with it. you know, and he could be kind of like gaslighting himself, you know, because I know a lot of dark skinned women or several dark skinned women here that are chocolate and they have very, very good jobs. But the thing with the dark skinned women here on the West Coast, they're not on drugs. So, you know, and the ones I know that have pretty good jobs that are dark skinned or chocolate, color of a Hershey chocolate bar or darker, they're also not on drugs. They're not on drugs, and they're not transgender females. So hopefully he can kind of one day get free of addiction. So let's pray that he gets free of addiction one day and change his life. And maybe opportunities will open up to him more, because it's not his complexion per se that's holding him back, it's his drug addiction. But it was interesting that he felt comfortable enough saying what he said. I said what I said, and it uplifted his day, right? It uplifted his day. So anyway, y'all, so we're waiting on our food here at the Red Robins. Sorry about the noise. Sorry about the noise. Please like, share, and subscribe. Watch my other lives. Not all my lives are noisy, y'all. I'm going through a little asthma stuff right now, y'all. Going through a little asthma stuff. Oh, they got Nia Long on TV. She's still pretty, y'all. Oh, she is still very beautiful. Nia Long really aged well, y'all. Caramel rocks, y'all, right? Caramel rocks. That caramel complexion, they age really well. So anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more with the Advanced Insight channel. And I'll be doing a live. Oh my God, I got some interesting narcissists and text messaging, y'all. Narcissists and text messaging. You know, I've been doing my series on that. So I got some juicy tea for y'all. Narcissists and text messaging. And you know, I usually don't call stuff tea, y'all. I don't usually call stuff tea. But this is going to be tea about me picking up a item from evidence, y'all. From the evidence within law enforcement, picking up an item that was released from evidence. This is gonna be some juicy tea. I normally don't call it tea, y'all. That's what other YouTubers call it, tea. But this is gonna be some juicy,
Don't forget.
sleazy.
Don't forget, put free precisely in the comments.
It's gonna be what?
I said put free precisely in the comments.
Free who?
Precisely.
Precisely?
Precisely.
Precisely?
Precisely. Precisely.
It's gonna be poo shiesty.
Yeah, good job.
So this gonna be poo shiesty.
Free precisely.
Free poo shiesty?
Precisely.
Poo shiesty?
Precisely.
Shiesty?
Yeah.
Free poo shiesty?
Precisely.
Poo shiesty. Oh, free poo shiesty.
Yeah.
Poo shiesty. I got it. Whatever that means. What in the hell does that mean, Daniel?
It means free precisely. He kidnapped Gucci Mane.
Oh, something about kidnapping Gucci Mane. So free poo shiesty. Okay, you gotta learn these terms from these teenagers, y'all.
Nah, turn. Free from the feds.
Free poo shiesty.
Good job. Yeah.
Thank you. Daniel said good job. So anyway, please like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Tune in for more. Thank you. Bye. Please like, share, and subscribe. So we got some free poo shiesty, narcissism and text messaging, more of the series. I think last video I did, it was like part 12, 13 or whatever. I got a playlist on the narcissism and text messaging. So oh, hello to
Scared.
let me see. I got some people here that's saying hello.
She's still alive. Till this day.
So Sam. Hello, Sam. And then User Cox, hello to you. And Sam. So yeah, I'll be doing more lives, y'all. Go out and get you something to eat. I cook a lot at home, but I also I still got the Wi-Fi on from the library, y'all. That's not good.
It's impossible.
Out. Yeah, it takes time to figure it out. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. And I got more and more videos coming up for y'all. I got to take some time to go through my lives and respond to the few comments that I have. So I apologize. I'm not trying to ignore your comments. I've just been busy uploading, but I do eventually get caught up with my comments. I know that there was a really nice comment put on one of my live videos about custody battles. And so I appreciate that, and I will respond to the comments in my lives. I just got to take like an hour of my time. It might not even be that long, but an hour, 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour to just go through my lives and respond to the comments. That's all I need to do, y'all. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for your participation, Daniel.
You're welcome.